All right, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Starcraft 2 replay cast. Today is a 1 vs 1 on Alrena. It is the first game in the Gauntlet Cup, the series for the Legacy of the Void 2015. And it is between our blue Zerg player, AcerBly, and down at the bottom, we have our red Zerg player, FireCake. And we're going to go ahead and speed this on up to the 8x mark, to about the 2-minute point. And everything gets good. We have a spawning pool coming out pretty early. Another pretty early spawning pool. Zerg versus Zerg in all. And now both of the Overlords spotting each other here. We have a quick rush here from AcerBly going after the expansion of FireCake. And it is doing a lot of work here. We have more Zerglings here for AcerBly than FireCake. And looks like the evened out now. And it's 6 versus 10. Now 12 Zerglings for AcerBly, and they will be on their way shortly. And he cancels the expansion, which is very, very strange. And must realize that his opponent has much more Zerglings than him. And as you can see now, not expanding here from AcerBly. No expansion at all. And so just making a Baneling nest here and a Spinecrawler to stop some of these Zerglings from coming in. And Spinecrawler going to do excellent work against these Zerglings. But now there's a Baneling coming in. And the Baneling nest is much slower here for FireCake. And now the Baneling's going to try and bait one of those Banelings to explode on one Zergling. Or perhaps even more, and down goes the Spinecrawler, and plenty of those Zerglings trying to spread them out as much as possible here. And now the Queen gonna fall here, and now going after the other Baneling, and it's going right in the drone line, and takes out one drone, I believe. Units lost so far, 800, 900 to 1,000, so it's actually relatively even. And now even more Zerglings coming out here for FireCake, trying to defend as best as he can. AcerBly just pouring in Zerglings, as it is such a close ranged map. As you can see, they're very, very close to each other. Just the way it goes on this map. Now, quite a bit of Zerglings here for FireCake. Units total, we have 8 to 11. So now FireCake has the upper hand, and Banelings coming in here for FireCake as well. And this may give enough time to expand. It looks like a drone is coming down here now to try and expand. And does have the amount to do, just now has the amount to do so in the resources tab there. And now going pretty strong here with this expansion. Now has to defend it best he can. It's going to be a while. And we have 2 Overlords up here, but I don't think he can see this expansion right now. And I doubt he can. He may have possibly have seen it. Or he can actually see it with this Overlord here. I didn't actually notice that Overlord there. That is one clever Overlord. Is a blue Overlord hiding above blue minerals. And now this expansion going strong here. AcerBly's expansion is now going up, but it is a little bit later than FireCake's. And Baneling's coming up now. Baneling versus Baneling. Baneling's just clashing with Banelings now. And going to try and explode in the middle of all these Banelings here and do big damage. And now Banelings explode all over each other, and nothing left from the field there. Units lost 1,700 to 1,800, almost dead even right now. And I suppose that is usually the way it goes with Zerg, as you just clash Banelings to Banelings and Zerglings to Zerglings. And I'm going to try and go after this Baneling Cocoon. Should just use one Zergling here, and could just pop that Baneling with one Zergling, and wasted 3 Zerglings on that. I think you should have just used one Zergling, and could have eventually taken down that Baneling there. Only has 30 health. And now going to be going after the expansion of AcerBly here, but not going to be able to do it very well. Has quite a bit that he has to watch out for. Some Banelings now coming in, and 2 Banelings take out 2 Banelings there, and 2 Banelings left, 1 Baneling left for AcerBly here. Just 3 Zerglings, and they're just going to run out and bail for now. Now the expansion is up for FireCake, now Maynarding over some of those drones here. 6 out of 16. And so it does have a little bit of extra income now. And now the expansion is up for AcerBly as well. So we do have Banelings in production for both sides here. Yeah, total units, we have just minor amount of Zerglings. 6 Zerglings for AcerBly, 1 for FireCake right now. And just about 2 Banelings for either side. So very, very even match right now. Both sides having the same amount of incoming. Now, a hatchery coming down for FireCake, so a second expansion here is going to try and defend this, and if he can get the second expansion up, he'll have so much income over AcerBly, and so we'll see if AcerBly does the same thing and gets an expansion, a second expansion of his own, and looks like he does have the opportunity to do so. He doesn't really have too much resources. Both player very, very low on resources, but if AcerBly just waits for just a moment, he does have 2 expansions going, so it will not take long to get the 300 just to buy another hatchery there. And I'd really like to see burrow. Burrow would be really nice right about now, although I'm sure neither player can really afford it. You could burrow some banelings along through here in these nice tight spots, and as something runs across, it'll just explode whenever they get across there. And so just basically baneling mine it. But there are 2 overlords just floating overhead, so they would see each other doing that. But it would pretty much deny this area here, or at least they'd have to bait it out in some way, shape, or form, or get an overseer. So it would cause their opponent to have to do something different. Now Ravagers, tons of Ravagers here coming from AcerBly. And we'll see how he deals with this. Roach is now coming in to deal with these Ravagers. And the Banelings blasting all over him. Banelings trying to get to the drones now. Oh, it takes up so many drones. So many drones. That had to have been 6, maybe 5 or 6 drones there that FireCake lost. Those Banelings got right in, and the Spinecrawler not really adequate here for stopping the Banelings. Need either more Spinecrawlers than that, or something to stop these Banelings here. The Roach is now piling in, and the Ravager's doing big damage. Now the drones, for a moment there, try to get in on the action. He actually canceled his expansion there at some point. And had he not canceled that expansion, he might not have been able to defend this push here. But if he did keep that expansion, he would have a large amount of income right now. But he would have to be defending 2 expansions. He'd have to be defending over here, which would be much more difficult than what he's doing right now. And now FireCake's Roach is pushing after the Ravagers. Ravagers now done. Ravagers are slightly less resilient than the Roach itself. It just becomes ranged, loses a little bit of health, and has that corrosive bile ability. Now just Roaches in production from both players here. 8 for FireCake, 6-5 now for AcerBly. And now going to try that expansion again here. And we do have some Zerglings going to take the long way around, and they're going to try and do a flank here. And if they can get to that hatchery there, that would be bad news for FireCake. So they might be able to take that hatchery down. There is quite a bit of Zerglings here coming, and they're going to spot this. But the Overlord's going to spot it before he gets there. And here come the Roaches now, though, and not going to be able to handle that. So he's just going to have to back out of there for now. So it was a close call. See, as you can see, the Ravager, about 25 less health, the same amount of armor, but actually, the Roach itself is ranged too. I can't, but it just gains more range, is what I meant to say. The Ravager now has 6 range, and Roaches have 4 range, so they gain a slight amount of range. Also, of course, they can use that bile ability, but all in all, they are slightly weaker with that 25 less health. So if you can get into range of it with Zerglings, Zealots, any kind of thing like that, it will go down a little bit easier than a Roach will. Hatchery now completed here for FireCake. So we'll see what he can do with this. If he can get enough drones going in there and safely secure it, which is going to be difficult. Now taking out the main rocks here, and I'm sure FireCake sees what's going on. Zerglings are going to try and get around and get to that expansion, but there are a couple Roaches in the way here that are going to do some damage. Now this Queen has come on down, so not going to be able to do too much with these Roaches, just really make him micro around. And now droning it up. 4 drones so far out of 16, and pumping drones out from all over if you can. But he's still got to watch out and tactically use those larvae to make sure that he has enough Roaches, and not just simply, oh, and so many corrosive biles take out that one Overlord there. That was a pretty decent play. Now FireCake going after AcerBly, and a battle forming here, and corrosive bile coming down all over the place. Can barely even track where it's falling. But FireCake has the way superior army, and soon we'll have a far superior armor. The AcerBly's expansion is way behind compared to FireCake's. FireCake's is already up and running. And the battle continues. Getting up the hill will be a little bit difficult. The Corrosive Bile is going to be pretty easy to land on these units, and both units landing Corrosive Bile on each other there and doing some AoE damage. Now the drones are coming after FireCake here, and that's when you know Zerg is desperate, when they bring out the drones. And now nearly, no, not nearly saturated, but about halfway to saturation there. So he is pulling in quite a bit of income. The income for FireCake 1100 just to 700, so far superior here for FireCake right now. And as long as he keeps this up, he will definitely win out on this. And even more gas for FireCake as well. So just plain more income, period. And AcerBly's expansion is up, but there's nothing he can really do about this. He's using it for roaches, not using the larvae for drones, which I don't really blame him. Obviously, he needs those roaches to defend himself, but without those drones, he's not going to be able to catch up in income either. So AcerBly GG's out, leaving FireCake the winner. And really well played from both sides here, but that extra expansion there, just a little bit too much income for AcerBly to deal with, a little bit too late like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this replay, and I'll see you guys next time.